Click, click. On Faithfuls, the Nothing But Niners crew is back, and I am here to bring you guys your 15 minutes of fame. Guys, it is March 22nd, well, 23rd now, officially on the East Coast, and we are here for day 22 of our March Madness at midnight. All right, so here we go. We're going to start right from the top. Hey, NBA crew, does the money we paid to the new rookies coming out count against our cap? If so, how much of it would we need? Thanks, never miss a show. My wife is jealous. All right, man. Hey, start watching with your wife, okay? Invite her to the party, all right? We always appreciate more people viewing. Shouldn't you have to sign in from a different device? Watch right there on screen with you, okay? It's cool. Thanks for watching. And yes, the money does come out of our current salary cap. We're at roughly $21 million, and usually the team would set aside about $10 million with as many draft picks as we have right now. But that number is fluid because the more we move up and down, the more that number changes, okay? Niner Empire says, with the Niners now start sitting at $20 million in cap space, what's stopping them from re-signing Quan or Hyder? And the answer is nothing. I don't think there's anything stopping them, but I also think that they want to get some of these guys in the draft. I'm not completely ruling out either one of those guys, by the way. I think that if the team feels like they can get them, cool. I would say it's less likely to land Kwan Williams only because of his age. K1 is in his 30s already, and the team you got to look at how the team is valuing that position, the secondary, right? You have Tart back on a 1-year deal. You have Mosley back on a 1 or 2 year deal. You have Verrett back on a 1-year deal. They're not giving out big contracts, and someone in their 30s already is going to be looking for a nice, possibly their last payday, and the Niners don't seem to be doing that right now. That's based off of the value that they have of the position, okay? Oh, wrong one. Sorry. The signing of Tart and $20 million left is KJ Wright and Quan Alexander, and maybe a wide receiver seal off our offseason. No, I don't think the team is going to use that. Again, you have to keep in mind that half of that is going to the rookies, okay? Tony is not on tonight, so this goes to me. What's your opinion on signing Flacco, cutting or trading Jimmy to New England, and drafting a quarterback in the first round? There's a lot of familiarity here. Joe Flacco in Denver was under Rich Gangarello, who had the Kyle Shanahan system, so he's familiar with it. If you look up those stats, actually, him and Jimmy were about 15 yards off as far as total yards. Flacco had less interceptions, had the same amount of turnovers, 27 and 12, 27 and 13 for Jimmy, and like I said, 15 yards off. Do I think that he can run the system? Sure. Do I think that he's going to take us into the playoffs? Maybe not. But getting a rookie and having him as a backup, that excites me. Listen, guys, I'll be completely honest with you. I'm going to be excited about any quarterback under center, including Jimmy Garoppolo, and here's why. If we go out and get a rookie, especially early in the first or second rounds, that means Shanahan's excited about that player. Now, I'm excited about what I don't know about this player, okay? If we go out and we get a veteran, you're gonna have a little bit of a backstory already. So it's gonna be all right. Here we go. Here comes whoever. If we go out and we are running Jimmy Garoppolo back out there, that tells me that Shanahan and the team thinks that he can be better than what he was. So no matter what, I'm gonna be excited about it. All right. But yeah, this isn't a bad idea. We'll see what happens there. All right. Vinny Mac, I answered your question in the chat. No, sir. You can start typing. What do you guys think about bringing in Ryan Kerrigan? I would love to bring in Ryan Kerrigan, but keep in mind what I said about K1. I'm not sure what kind of contract he's looking for, and I'm not sure the Niners are going to be the best fit for him right now. All right. Here we go. Is a Fred Warner extension a priority now that we have freed up some cap space? I'm going to say no, it's not a priority. Doesn't mean it shouldn't get done. All right. So there's two different things. You also have to keep in mind that the team needs to keep some cap space for throughout the season. I don't know if you guys recall, but we had so many injuries last year that came to a point where we could not sign more players. We didn't have anybody else to sign because we didn't have any money to sign. And, it got really tight, I should say. I shouldn't say we didn't have any money, but it got really tight. So the team has to be careful about where they're spending all that money, okay? Let's keep it moving here. All right. That was not a question. from the Karate Kid. Ben V, here we go. Are all the team-friendly one-year deals due to the lower salary cap, or did we as Niner fans overvalue our own players' true market value? I believe that the salary cap restrictions gave a good excuse and players bought it. But I also think that the team is looking to get younger. I think that the team is going to invest heavily in the pass rush and boost up the secondary with rookies. All right. I also think that the team is going to invest in the offensive line. You know, the 1 year, which is 3 years on paper deal for Alex Mack tells me that the team is still going to draft a center in the second or third round, right? They're going to get a center and they want him to learn behind Alex Mack. And if we happen to need him for 2 years, we can keep Mack for another year. But they're definitely going to get a center early. So I think this is the team's way of getting younger in a smart way. Let's keep the rookies. Let's draft these rookies. Let's have some veterans around. Let them learn from them and then phase them in. So I think that's how they're going to do it. All right. All right. Well, Brian's not here. If we acquire Watson and he goes to the commissioner exempt list like Adrian Peterson, does he count against the cap? Mike, would you get him with risk of him missing 2021 on exempt list? Yes, I would get him with the risk of him missing 2021, and you should have a good backup plan. With that said, I believe that his contract is paused, so whenever he returns, he picks up from this year's numbers, which can be very, very helpful. All right. Do you think it will be a good idea to bring back Quan Alexander to the 49ers since we have paid almost $7 million in dead cap for his contract this year? No. I think if the team moved on, they should stay moved on. All right. Hi from Britain. If the football gods descend upon you in bed tonight and guarantee you a 11-5 record next season, would you accept it? If yes, where would it land us in the NFC West? All right, so next season, meaning the season coming. Why do they have to descend on me while I'm in bed, bro? Would I accept it? I mean, I think we're in that range already. But sure, why not, right? If you can guarantee me I'm going to win 11 of these 5 games, that'll make for an exciting season. And I would hope that we start out losing 4 of the 5. So that way we just go on a crazy run and take that momentum into the postseason. That will probably put us in second or third in the NFC West. And it'll guarantee us a playoff position with the extra teams making the postseason now. So I like it. Put me in the postseason with all the momentum going into it. I like that. I like it a lot. Do you think we should keep Jimmy and draft a corner in the first and see what we can do for one more year? Whether we keep Jimmy or not, I don't think it's going to change what we do in the first round. I think that if let's just say for some reason that in 11 picks, the Niners stand pat and not a single quarterback was taken. I think that at 12, they have their pick of all the quarterbacks in the draft, whether Jimmy is on this roster or not. They pick the guy that they like, and then they find something to do with Jimmy, whether it be trade, cut, keep him as a backup, start Jimmy, and then use the other guy as a backup. But Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to change them from addressing the quarterback position in the first round. He's just not going to do that. And if they want to keep him and go corner or something because they feel like he's a good plan, then fine, that's fine too. If we don't sign Shark, will the defense take a significant hit or not bad? It depends on what you're talking about. I think Shark played the run game very, very well. I don't think you see a lot of guys stick their nose in there and get after it the way he is. He's a physical guy. He's a really good blitzer. I like what he does a whole lot. But as far as coverage goes, we'll be okay. I think the coverage can be manipulated and replicated. So I hope that answers the question for you. All right. So if the Cowboys don't bring back Alden Smith, back, do we? No. What is happening? Okay. Do we? No, I don't think so. All right. If you want a day one start in the first round, do you think the best value at this point is cornerback? Horn should be there at 12. Kelvin Joseph is the best cornerback in this class, but has red flags. Aziz is at 3-4. if you want a day one, if you want to, okay, here you go. How's this for something crazy? If you want a day one starter, you do take corner, because the corner would be competing with someone who's not there yet, a nickel corner, or Emmanuel Mosley, who was an undrafted free agent. So if you're taking someone in the very first round, day one starter, you have to go with corner, because that's the biggest hole on the roster right now. The second biggest hole or spot up for grab, I should say, is probably the edge guy opposite Bosa. So that's how I would do it. All right. Laundry's done. All right. With the Jaguars going quarterback with pick number 1, how do you feel about trading for Gardner Minshew? I would not do that. I would rather keep Jimmy Garoppolo than go and get a Gardner Minshew. All right. Should we bring in competition for Azeez Al-Shaair? Absolutely. We should bring in competition for everybody. I really, really do. R. Kelly Ignition or Keith Sweat Twisted? Oh, man. According to my wife, I'm not allowed. Why are you peering at me like that? I'm not allowed to like R. Kelly anymore. So we're going to go with Keith Sweat moaning and crying on Twisted, okay? You know you want my loving, baby.
So it's okay for you to like him?
I told you I like R. Kelly. I'm doing shh. All right. Now that we have $20 million under the cap with D Ford, do we now give Fred Warner his contract extension? We got to that earlier on. I don't think it's a must do now. Okay, we could still do some restructuring later on with other players, so I wouldn't rush to do it. Where do you think we are ranked right now in the division? That's a very good question. I have the Niners 3rd in the division right now today. We did make a couple of moves, and the team got better, so I like it. All right. Why 49ers keep signing Dante Johnson? Because Dante Johnson is from Jersey, and he's a damn good corner. Okay, he's versatile. He plays left side, right side, nickel. All right, he's a hard hitter. He's got the length. He's a 6'3" frame. All right, and he's an intelligent guy. He might not be the most physically gifted person out there, but he knows the assignment. He knows the defense really well. You got to remember that when he wasn't here, where was he? He was in Seattle doing the same exact thing. He knows the system, guys. We could do a lot worse than Dante Johnson. And trust me, I promise you guys, you wish Dante Johnson was in there in that Dolphins game instead of Brian Allen, okay? Ben says, what up, Mike? Cheers. Oh, okay, that was not a question. All right, well, what up to you too, Ben? Sorry. Question, do you think we'll use Goodwin or Benjamin to take off the top of the defense? Marquise Goodwin is no longer on the roster. They officially cut him. Benjamin, I don't know how fast he is. I mean, if you had asked me that 4 or 5 years ago, I would say yes, but right now I don't know how fast he is. I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners go out and get a speedy wide receiver. We'll talk about that in another show. Are you satisfied with the current results so far, and what big name would you like to go after? I'm assuming he's talking about in free agency. I do like the name so far. We went out and secured the best left tackle, the best fullback. We had the best center on the market for this system. We made our offensive line a top 5 offensive line in the NFL. You can't ask for much more than that when you look at what we were if we didn't bring those pieces back. We don't bring back Trent. If we don't get Alex Mack, all of a sudden it's like, man, we got to get 2. So when you step back and you look at it that way, I know people don't get excited because we brought back so many of our own, but those pieces that were our own were really, really important. All right. With the offensive line, we currently have, I believe, okay, I wasn't supposed to read that. That wasn't the question. Sorry. Do we bring back Hyder with the extra money? I don't think so. Mike, were you surprised to see Tart sign, and how do you feel about the D Ford restructure? All right, so first with the Tart re-sign. No, I was not surprised. If you actually go back and watch last night's show, you will hear me say he's already signed. All right, go back and watch the show that, the 15-minute show. And how do you feel about D Ford's restructure? That was great. We need to do it. Do you feel that move puts us in position to sign a big name while stashing residual for a post-draft? No, I answered that all already. I don't think we make any more big splash. Doesn't mean we won't get anyone else. And this will be the last one for the night. So we draft the running back day 2. I remember watching games with Hasty and McKinnon as our only backs. No, I don't think we draft one on day 2, but day 3 for sure. Peace.